Hello and welcome everyone to the Dominion Gaming live stream. I am your host, the vocal terrorist, Jesse Raen, and we are getting into the first of tonight's games. This is going to be Team Carnage showing off some new cool HotS strategies. They are doing a round robin which will go then into an elimination tournament. Our first game is loading up and it's going to be between two players I have personally been very excited about in the past. And we are going to be switching the overlay now. I think it's my computer actually holding things back. Here we go. So, first up, in the blue, we have our Terran player. This is a guy I raved about. Probably, God, it must be about a year ago now when I first started watching his games. His name is LemonyTang. And opposing him on New Kirk City is our Orange Protoss, of course also a member of Team Carnage / Derailed Esports. Playing Protoss, his name is Drolla! Drolla, baby. So, I am pretty new to Heart of the Swarm. I haven't had much time to play it. The beta really started to get popular around the time I decided to take a break from Starcraft and really recharge. So, a lot of this is going to be a learning process for me as well. Hopefully the game sounds are about right for you guys. I haven't had as much chance to play around with Heart of the Swarm as I normally would, but hopefully everything's about the right volume. So, LemonyTang is a player mostly known for his really good TVTs. From me anyway, and of course that comes from playing alongside Jimmy. So we're going to have to wait and see just how good his TVP is. Of course, LemonyTang actually the winner, I believe, of the first ever, or possibly the second, Vocter Gaming UK Open, which is a tournament I run roughly once a month, although we took a break in February. We'll be back with Heart of the Swarm in March though, so you don't have to worry about that. Drolla is going to be scouting first. Of course, there are only two places you can actually spawn here. You don't spawn, as far as I'm aware, in these top left and top right positions. Just these bases with the easily takeable expansion. It looks like LemonyTang going for the gasless expand off of 1 racks. This, of course, will be scouted by Drolla, and then he's going to scout afterwards. That's really nice scouting timing here by this SCV. It's going to get in here. As the cyber call's going up, he's going to be able to see exactly how many gases are taken, and he'll know exactly what Drolla's up to. So that's really, really good. As we can see, the bank is already starting to increase for LemonyTang. He's going to be heading out with a command center on the low ground. Not going to bother hiding it on the top ground. Drolla knows exactly what's coming. What you've got to remember in a tournament like this is these guys know essentially what kind of strategies their opponents are used to doing. These are people who train with each other, who play with each other all the time. And because of that, whoa, getting some lag. I sometimes get some lag, by the way, in Heart of the Swarm. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it. I think it's just the fact that it's beta. So long as we don't drop any frames, we should be perfectly fine. And here comes the command center from LemonyTang. We've got the first of the new Heart of the Swarm units coming out of Drolla, already with the Mothership core. Mostly useful in defense. Occasionally we've seen them used in aggressive moves earlier in the beta, but nowadays really it's more of an early defense thing. It allows you to quite often forego sentries, which is really, really nice. Because sentries are a lot of gas, which is, of course, better spent on tech. So Drolla also going the fast expand route. I want to say huge thanks, by the way, to Dominion Gaming for putting on this little round robin tournament for us, for getting these games streamed, for contacting me and asking me to do this, which is, of course, very heartening for a caster like myself to know that people want me and people enjoy me, and it's great to get some games going and showing these players out. So, double gas coming up now from LemonyTang. It's pretty much what you want to do after a fast expand. Nothing has changed in that regard from Wings of Liberty to Heart of the Swarm. You pretty much have to get the double gas as a Terran, because gas will, of course, allow you to get tech units. By the way, guys, I am not an analytical caster. I'm mostly good at the play-by-play, at the personality stuff. So, apologies. If you want to chime in with some analysis in the chat, that is perfectly fine. If you want to tell me what these players are doing, I will probably read your chat and then pretend it was my idea all along, which I know you guys like. Robo Bay is on the way. This Robo Facility, even Robo Bay is afterwards. I believe, did they change that? No, they just changed it from Robotics Support Bay to Robotics Bay. Everything is confusing to me. I just finished work, came home, turned on the stream like a boss. So, a little bit tired. LemonyTang, trying to keep an eye out here for perhaps for an observer coming in. Also, of course, for those people doing the Mothership Recall rushes, does that still work? Or with the Mothership Core, is it now... let me just check the recall. Oh yeah, it has to be to a Nexus now, so you can't do those kind of rushes where you take your Mothership Core to to the other side of the map and use it to recall all your units underneath it. Instead, what you can do, of course, is do an aggressive move, and if it doesn't work out for you, just use the Mothership Core to teleport everything back to base. That's the kind of thing that can be used. So we're going to see Colossus coming out from Drolla. Colossus first is probably a better idea. It takes a long time to get Templar to the point where they're functional, and you want to be safe from any kind of early attacks. LemonyTang still staying pretty much heavy on the bio. With +1 attack coming down, it's something he wants to commit to in the future. Great analysis going on in the chat right now. Apparently Drolla is being incredibly BM by making Protoss units. That is pretty much the level of analysis I bring to Heart of the Swarm. Just going to be honest about that right up front. And now LemonyTang just doing a small move out. I imagine he just intends to take this Zelnaga watchtower from Drolla and cut down on his ability to check. I don't know though, he's bringing a lot of units and perhaps a stim and +1 attack timing into this. Now, how well's that going to work? With the Mothership Core, I don't know quite how that affects the matchup, but I mean, this here, that just dies to this. He's going to need Colossus out, and instead he's trying to take a third base. And the problem with that is that's a lot of financial investment. At best, he's going to have one Colossus out, so if there's a good stim, this could go very, very badly for Drolla. Let's just take a quick look at the worker count. See, we're 49 to 42. Of course, LemonyTang has stopped making workers now. The first 2 medevacs are on the way. And, I mean, you've got to feel like this third base goes, whatever happens. Nice force fields there, delaying the unit's attack. But they just ignore that third. They move up the ramp. They want to get up, perhaps, into the main, so they can try and snipe a Colossus or two. Instead, going to come around here and get workers now. Great move here by LemonyTang. This is going to kill an awful lot of workers. But you've got to feel he's going to lose a lot of his bio at this point. Without the medevacs there to heal them, perhaps this was a slightly early move. So let's see, 8 workers killed, but 20 units killed. And that leaves them at 43 to 42, with this third base still on the way. So I don't know as that was the best move LemonyTang could have made. These 2 medevacs are now out, but there's not enough units to really make it worthwhile. Going to have to go on a drop and try and do something, but oh, if Drolla was looking, flies it right past the observer. Oh, bad moves there from LemonyTang. LemonyTang now is going to try and get this command center down. He knows he's behind here, and look at this, the Stalker's already responding. They're there, they're waiting. Even with the boost, he's not going to get in above them. Now he boosts, now he tries to get away. 7 hit points left. Oh, that was close. That boost, man. That boost. But right now, Drolla is in a great position. He just needs to sit and defend this third. He's going to be miles ahead in terms of workers, and he's going to... Well, he's just so far ahead in terms of tech. He's already got his first 2 Colossus out. And really, LemonyTang's still on this kind of low bio composition because he lost so many units. You want to be building up a really nice bio ball, but instead it's kind of just a small bio force. We've got a couple of Hellions coming out. Be interesting to see how much they help against Protoss nowadays. Obviously, they've been useful against Zealots before, but pretty much nothing else. And, well, I don't think that much has changed, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Let's just take another look at those unit counts. Okay, so LemonyTang's actually got ahead here, because I think Drolla's kind of went into unit overdrive. I think he was worried about another attack, and here comes a drop, actually. But it does get cleaned up. Did he get any more units? Holy crap, yes, he did. Dang, sorry, guys. That is my bad for missing that. That was actually an incredible drop for him, going up to 23 workers killed. See, I thought it was weird that the workers had got lower. I'm awake, I promise. Here come the Hellions now, and the Hellions going to do some great damage here to the Protoss workers. 27, but they will all get away, which is really, really nice. Still, okay, 1 Hellion goes down, but everything else should be perfectly safe now. So worth 1 Hellion to get like 5 workers. especially since the Hellions aren't so great in the straight-up engagements. Now I'm paranoid that I'm going to be missing drops, so we'll be keeping an eye out for that. The Hellions now transformed into Hellbats, and again, this observer sees another drop headed around the map. This drop, of course, could come in from the left-hand side, and once again land in amongst the workers, perhaps even snipe a forge, which would be nice. Anything delaying those upgrades as yours are coming out. We've got 5 more gates. We've got a Twilight Council. Oh my god, I love that! Heart of the Swarm with a great new feature means I no longer have to look for buildings. I can click on it. Okay, so this is a 2-pronged attack. First of all, the Hellions will drop in here, killing some probes and distracting the army, while this second drop comes in from the left-hand side, and it's going to drop directly on top of these workers. Another drop now with 2 Hellbats trying to come in, but there's a lot of forces there. So this drop was picked up. It's going to drop back in though, but here is where the damage is really being done. Look at this LemonyTang right now, just picking Drolla apart. There's not enough units there. He is going to snipe that forge. The unit distracted here finally does pick off that drop, but this forge will go down with another. Yeah, that dies. So that dies in the middle of upgrading +2 attack, which is really, really bad for Drolla. It's going to keep him even further behind because +2 attack is already on the way for LemonyTang, and now with +2 armor and the vehicle and ship plating level 1, because that's been combined in Heart of the Swarm. Losing these 2 Hellbats isn't great, but it's better than losing the medevac, so that is perfectly fine. And LemonyTang showing why he's a player I raved about. Despite having what I felt like not a great start, he's really pulled it back in terms of that drop. If I just go to look at this, 37 workers killed over the course of the game. This is something I see from LemonyTang. It's nice to see that this has stayed in Heart of the Swarm. In the final of the Vocter game in UK Open that I watched him play, we had one game on, I think, Metropolis, that ended as a TVT that ended up with about 70-odd worker kills in his favour. That was pretty great, to be honest. So now we've got the double drop going on. Again, coming to the left, while we have an attack going on into the third of Drolla. And I think this could be the move that kills him. How much does he have here? This is a lot. And with the Vikings there to kill down these Colossus, that's going to be great. Even better if he manages to pull some of the forces away from here. The mothership calls up in the main, which means it's not going to be defending that third. The question is, does he move in now with the army? How much gets pulled back? Nothing gets pulled back, in fact. This observer's on with our army. Drolla knows exactly what's going to happen here. So he keeps just enough units around the back here to defend these drops and still defend the third base, and that's really, really nice moves here. So that medevac, oh, so close to falling. It will fall because it will move over that nexus. So really, really good stuff there from Drolla. Drolla starting to pull this game back into his favour now. And with the Archons out, we've got Ghosts on the way though from LemonyTang to try and counter the Archon composition. He already has enough Vikings, I would say. With 6 Vikings there, that should be enough to deal with 3 Colossus without overmaking them. Of course, the real problem is going to be these High Templar. You need to get good EMP on snipes on those, because once they throw down those Size Storms, it is going to start killing people. It just rips through a bio army like nothing. So we've got the 4th base coming down from LemonyTang. We've got +3 weapons started for him. We've got the Mobius Reactor, which is the Ghost starting energy for those of you unfamiliar with it. And look at this. This is what we call a doom drop, guys. This is where you load up a ton of units in a medevac, and, well, you try and go kill everything in your opponent's main with it. He's also going to check at the 4th base of Drolla, but there's nothing there yet. Drolla really just staying on this 3 base, which could hurt him in the late game. But here comes this huge, huge drop into the main. How much now will Drolla pull back? Drolla's pulling his entire army back up that ramp. Okay, now he's got to hold some because he knows there's more army out there, but this Nexus in the main does get sniped, and now important tech buildings are going to start going down. Just sending Zealots back isn't going to be enough. We're getting an engagement going on here, though, which is going in Drolla's favour. LemonyTang having to pull back very, very quickly from there, and now sending his medevacs around, which means they're not here to help this small amounts of units, so they will fall to the Zealots. These Zealots, though, will fall very, very quickly to the Marauder Marine Hellbat composition. So this is some great back and forth stuff already. crazy stuff going on in the chat. I'm just going to continue to ignore it completely and carry on trying to cast some Heart of the Swarm. Man, I love Heart of the Swarm. Another huge engagement. Okay, Archon's coming in, but a ton of EMPs. Does not catch these two Archons, though, which is a real problem for him. Because once again, they will start to rip through the bio and even the air units. The two Colossus are very low on health, though. One falls. The last one should fall. It does get targeted down, and now it's not so much of a problem having these Vikings here because we have no more Colossus on the way. None are being made at the Robo. So, man, this is back and forth. But LemonyTang with his 4th base has the potential in the future to continue making it to maxing out. You can already see the difference in the bank here between the two players. That can very much come into play if LemonyTang struggles. Drolla struggles to take this 4th. Again, a drop in the main. LemonyTang is just not stopping on that. He's going to force a cancel here. Cancel does come at the very last second. But again, that's just another Nexus that he doesn't have. It's another 100 minerals he loses from that. Here we go, and the units just get picked up. There's only Zealots there. You know, he can't fly this way because the Stalkers are waiting, but he gets in, forces a cancel on a Nexus, and now he's going to fly right over this 4th. And there is nothing here. Okay, everything's moving up now to stop it from being killed. But he's very much aware that it's there now, which is going to be a real problem in the future for Drolla. RIP Zs, as always. OC now out at this 4th base. 55 workers is perfectly fine for a Terran with this many mules coming out. LemonyTang is in a really good situation. And look at all these ghosts. What are we at now? We're at 11 ghosts. That is a huge amount of EMPs and snipes. So we want to see EMPs straight away going down on the Archons. Some decent EMPs, not great, but he's still got a ton of energy, so we could see a lot more coming in. And of course, snipes or EMPs on these 4 High Templars. They're going to try and flank him from the side away from the Ghost, but I don't know if there's enough forces here. That's going to be a real problem. Even with good Psy Storms, you need something to take to deal the damage afterwards. Ghost starting to be hurt. One Psy Storm went down, but it didn't really catch anything. A second one goes down, does catch a lot of the bio, and that was huge. With the Nexus here to defend, thanks to that Mothership core, things are looking very close here, but the Terran player just so strong now in Heart of the Swarm, many would say. The 4th, by the way, of Drolla was killed. Drolla's supply is dwindling as he tries to hold on here. More snipes going down on those High Templar. He only has a few storms left. One really nice storm there, but there are no more. The Mothership core falls. This Nexus will fall, and then Drolla is going to have problems getting any more income in the near future. He only has one mining base up once this falls, and it will fall. There we go. So only this base now mining, which is going to hurt him in the long run. This base, of course, down and still being destroyed. This is up, but there's hardly any minerals here, so it's literally just one base left for Drolla. He has some bank, which will keep him in the game for now, but once that runs out, he can't remake units, whereas we have a steady influx of units. Marauders, Hellbats, Ghosts, even some Vikings coming in for LemonyTang. So you got to feel that LemonyTang is just going to keep pushing this advantage. Still got some medevacs with energy, so he can continue to walk up this ramp, and once this base goes down and once the army falls, you've got to think that's it from Drolla. Drolla will fall in this first round to LemonyTang. These are only best of ones in each round robin. GG coming out there from Drolla. LemonyTang is our victor in the first round robin match. So, really nice game.